Yo! What's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, we're just going to do a quick update on Ethereum, kind of like we're doing with Bitcoin, right? What do we need to see from ETH to continue to say that the bottom might be in? All right, let's talk about it today. As always, let's hit 100 likes. Do not make me have the crying face on the freaking video. Smack up that like button. Let's hit 100 likes. Subscribe if you're new. Let's jump on in. All right, so we're going to stick to the weekly time frame today. All right, we're going to look at a few different things. We'll look at, if Ethereum wants to continue to hold this most recent low back down to, 870, what do we need to see for us to continue up from here, okay? And maybe not necessarily continue up, but make that double bottom, which we've been looking for, which in every single bear market, in any asset, go look. You're going to find some type of double bottom action, all right? So we're going to take a look at that today. We also got this previous price action from 2018 that we're going to take a look at too, which has a couple interesting clues. So let's jump on in. So right here, guys, we know that the ETH merge has caused ETH to go nuts to the upside, which was kind of, not necessarily unexpected, but maybe went up a little bit higher than people expected at this current rate of the market, right? We came all the way back up here to the bear market resistance band, as Ben Cowan would call it, and got a rejection. It's actually the same thing if we go back to 2018. Back in 2018 when we hit the lows, ETH had this big pump up from like $82 all the way back up to about 160. Didn't quite get up to that bear market resistance band, but ended up getting rejected. Now, I think the key point we need to take from this is if you want the bottom to be in for Ethereum, and the same thing goes for Bitcoin, what we want to see is we want to see higher lows come in. You guys can see once we got that big pump, ETH came right back down, right? We had that bearish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame right here, which I bet everyone back then, I can't remember necessarily, but I bet everyone back then was calling for, ETH is going to $10, $20, kind of the same thing you're hearing now, right? With everything that's going on, Bitcoin 10K and all this stuff. We got that bearish engulfing candle, but we continue down for another 3 weeks. But you can see that ultimately Ethereum held a higher low. And it actually got another pump up to the upside, held another higher low before obviously breaking that bear market resistance band and getting a nice pump to the upside. That's what we want to see going forward here for Ethereum in this current market. We go back to this market over here. You guys can see we got that big pump up. It was almost about the same percentage of a pump. Holy moly, kid is going nuts outside. Sorry about that, guys. Some kid's going nuts. Right when I make a video, it's quiet, and then kid wants to go nuts outside. But anyways, we got a pump from like 1,000 up to about 2K. About a 2X, right? About a 2X. Right off the bear market resistance band, and then bumps back down to the downside. All right, so what do we want to see now? Well, we want to see this higher low structure come in, and we're of a couple points that Ethereum could get bounces from, right? If we take a look, some kids going nuts. I'm not even going to start this video. It's just funny at this point. So right here, guys, 1,369. This is the first level I'm looking at. You might be saying, Jordan, why 1,369? Why the heck are we going to look at that level? Well, we look left. That was Ethereum's previous weekly close all-time highs back from technically 2018 for Ethereum. We know Bitcoin topped in 2017, but technically 2018 for ETH. That's the first level I'm looking at for Ethereum to get some type of bounce off of and make a higher low. I think that would make a ton of sense. I think a big reason why we dumped below that level in the first place was just because of cascading liquidation events of certain exchanges like Celsius, like Voyager, 3AC as far as hedge funds and things like that, right? So I would love if ETH can come back down, sort of hold this as a low before continuing up to continue that higher low structure here, which is a typical bear market structure or bear market low structure. If that level breaks though, okay, here's the big deal. If that level breaks, in theory, we can come all the way back down to about this 1,072 level right here and still maintain that slightly higher low to try to get the bounce back up. The reason why I say that and why that level might be an interesting level for Ethereum going forward, if it wants to remain at this at the bottom, if you take our swing lows to our swing highs right here, you can see that we have a couple fib levels from this most recent move. The 786 comes in right here at about 1,124. The reason why I say a little bit lower is because you could get a wick down to those weekly lows. So 1,124. What did we do in the previous, in 2018? Let's go take a look. So in 2018, from the swing lows to the swing highs, right here, you guys can see that, it didn't come all the way back down to that 786. A little bit off, right? I mean, you're talking $2 off back then, which is nothing. But you ended up coming all the way back down to that 786 before pumping up to the upside. So that's why I'm looking at, right in this general range right here between 1,130 and 1,062 as being that second bounce point that I'm looking at for Ethereum bouncing back to the upside. All right. Now you might be saying, all right, Jordan, that's if the low is in. What if the low is not in? Well, let's talk about it real quick. I mean, ultimately, real quick. I mean, just like what I went off of. You want to see ETH get a bounce here, come back up, retest, maybe make another higher low, and continue back up, and eventually break this over the course of the next couple months. Guys, this could take a long time to play out, and I want everyone to be prepared for that for weeks, possibly months of being down in this range. But I will continue to say, as long as Bitcoin, and especially Bitcoin, is below the 200-week SMA, I believe it's a good time to DCA into, and I will be doing so, into your favorite top cap altcoins, not low caps. Those can still get absolutely destroyed. But your favorite high cap alts, Bitcoin, things like that, right? Now, let's say ETH doesn't want it. The bottom doesn't want to be in for ETH, right? Stock markets want to keep dumping, right? Macro just keeps affecting crypto, and we continue back down to the downside. What levels could we be looking at then? Well, let's just do a couple interesting things, right? So for Bitcoin, we like to compare to the previous bear market. Let's do something like this, where we take each price action and hover it over our current price action. It looks something like this. Now, do I think ETH is going to dump 95%? No, because you guys got to remember, back here, the market cap was significantly lower. It was easier to move the market. ETH went down about 95% in the last bear market. I do not think that's going to happen again, just because how much dominance ETH has gained on the crypto market. You've seen about at 82%, and then right now it's still down about 68% from its highs. But here's the thing, right? And I thought this was very interesting. If you actually take this fractal and you put it like this, okay? You guys can see that the overall significance of where we are right now. And this goes to what we talked about with Bitcoin. Like, we're exactly pretty much where we should be in the grand scheme of things. Like, if you take the highs, and you guys can see ETH had this little pump up right here. You see this little dump here for Ethereum? It actually came back up in this same little formation back over here earlier in 2022 before having a big dump. Now, obviously, we dumped hard in April, right? That was because of a bunch of different reasons. We actually dumped harder than we did up until that point, this bear market, than we did in the last bear market. And that's crazy, because the last bear market was insanely bad for altcoins. And ETH dumped way harder than it did before. If you actually look at where ETH is right now, it's actually, technically speaking, look at where it is. You can't make this stuff up. It's the same as Bitcoin. I find this fascinating. It's actually right at the where it should be, right? If you take this and you kind of hover it over what it did last time, you're sitting right here, okay? Which is crazy, isn't it? And if you look at where that kind of lines up with, you guys can see the bottom came in right here. We had the bottom right here. Are you going to see like what we just talked about? Right, where ETH sort of hovers its way back down here, tries to make some type of higher low, wherever it comes in, makes some type of higher low, and then try to mosey its way back up over the course of the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. Something along the lines of this. Something like this would not surprise me at all. I actually think this is actually the most likely outcome. Maybe we don't go all the way back down to 900. Maybe we make a slightly higher low, but do the same thing. But this is probably the most likely outcome to me. Is something along these lines. Now, let's do one more scenario. Let's pretend that, we don't adjust this. We don't adjust this for the current market cap and just the size of crypto in general. Let's just take the original fractal, right? That would put ETH coming all the way back down to like $300, which sounds crazy, right? Which sounds crazy, but I want to remind everyone how quickly it can come back up, okay? It can come back up quick if it goes that low, okay? If it drops 95%, you best bet that people are going to be buying ETH down here, and it's going to bounce back quick. That's what happened in 2018. It dropped to $300, and within a few months, you were all the way back up at $1,000. Okay, so take it for what you will. All right, you make your own decision. I'm just showing you what happens in the past, what we've done in the past, for you guys to be able to make your own decision going forward and, come out the other side. Because really, in crypto, it's about coming out the other side. It's about accumulating as much crypto as you can before the next Bitcoin halving. And yeah, that's really it, man. We stress about day-to-day price action, but in reality, you look at the 1 hour, the 4 hour chart, and then you obviously zoom out on the weekly. You can't even see those candles, man. All right, so I'll catch you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll be live streaming up here in about an hour. So take it easy. Catch you guys tomorrow on this channel. Adios. Smack up that like button. Subscribe if you are new. And if you like these videos, let me know in the comments section if you like these longer term videos. Spam that comment section. I want to see everyone in the damn comment section. And also let me know where you think Ethereum is going to bottom, or if it already bottomed, and everything in between. All right. Adios, guys. Peace.